Good evening and welcome to the 33rd Annual Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, inside the J. Lambeau Schwartz Arena at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Day 4 of 5, game 7 of 7, the nightcap tonight. Semifinal matchup between Bishop Loughlin Lions out of Brooklyn, New York versus the Providence Stallions out of Jacksonville, Florida. Tyler Watkins along with Van Coleman. And Van, this is a double-header broadcast for you. I don't even believe you left the seat, did you?
Well, I tell you, yeah, I did make a little break in between, but you have to do that. 2 hours is a long, long time for an old fellow like me. But anyway, it's great basketball. We just had an exciting first game, 51-47. Northland moves on to the championship game. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be a dogfight, this game coming up between Providence and Bishop Loughlin. I'll tell you what, it starts with a young man who's going to Duke for Providence. Grayson Allen, a guy who can light it up for 30 anytime. He shoots over 50% from beyond the arc. He's a playmaker, averaging 24 points, 4 rebounds, about 3 assists. He starts it all for them. But the key tonight may not be him.
Okay.
It could be the fact that Christian Terrell, Luke Morris, Ben Bobbitt, and Teddy Giadias, I'm not sure on that name, but anyway, but in butcher too bad.
Georgie Edis
have got to handle the Loughlin pressure. They come out like junkyard dogs. They chase you all over the floor. They want to get after you. And their perimeter trio of Kadeem Carrington, who's going to Seton Hall, and Michael Williams, who's going to Rutgers, and Javian Dela Cruz, who can score from anywhere and is going to be really a highly recruited kid this spring. Those guys set a tone. They have some of the best feet, quickest hands, quickest bodies. Defensively, you're going to see anytime in high school basketball, and they're going to really put a lot of pressure on Grayson Allen and his teammates. I think it's how well the teammates handle it is what happens for Providence tonight. I think it's a real key because Allen will handle what you give him. He's played with the best. He's played at the top level. You know, he's a great athlete, as we saw when he won the dunk contest here this weekend. I think that you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be decided with those other guys and how well they handle the pressure.
Well, Bishop Loughlin comes in 6-1 on the year. Providence comes in 9-3 on the year. And I'm very familiar with Providence. In fact, people have asked me who's the team to watch at the Beach Ball Classic, and I've said over and over again it was Providence, not really knowing much about them. But when they came out and Grayson Allen and Christian Terrell teamed up, it was a wow factor for sure. Wyatt Walker inside, the 6'9" junior. But this is a team that's missing 2 of their players. Davis Sharp was the 6'9" senior who's not here due to a football commitment. And then 6'7" Morgan Walker is not here either. This team has to be really good if they have those players.
If they had their inside guys, it would be a much different situation. You talked about David Sharp. He's 6'9", 275 pounds, and is one of the best offensive tackles in the country. And is going to Florida, by the way, to play football. And he's a great athlete with the basketball.
Well, Providence got here by defeating Sac-A-Stee 70-38 in a showdown that saw Providence build an 18-0 lead on Friday night. Then they led 51-13 at the half. That was a 70-38 final. Then they defeated Moeller 60-56. Bishop Loughlin defeated Norcross 50-46, and then defeated Franklin 71-46 in a game that a lot of people thought maybe Franklin would contend better for.
Well, one of the things is that when your star isn't there, and in Franklin's defense, they didn't have that guy who's the difference maker for them in that game. So you kind of look at it and you say, chalk that one up. But Loughlin can get after you. And I think that's the big key in this one is they didn't have Luke Kennard to contend with at 100% when they faced Franklin. Tonight, they're going to face Grayson Allen, who can give you that. So it's going to be how well does Loughlin handle him and the way this game goes.
Let's throw it over to PA announcer Sinclair Swan for tonight's starting lineups.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to America's finest high school holiday basketball tournament, the Beach Ball Classic from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's the final game for the day to determine the participants in the championship tomorrow. The visiting team from Jacksonville, Florida, the Providence Stallions. They're led by head coach Jim Martin. He's assisted by Coach Brian Hoff, Mike Lockhart, Sean Patel, and Nina Sparrow. Their starting lineup. Wearing number 1, a 6'5" senior, Grayson Allen. Wearing number 2, a 6'5" senior, Christian Terrell. Wearing number 3, a 5'11" junior, Ben Bobbitt. A 6'5" senior, wearing number 4, Kadar Bryant. And a 6'6" junior, wearing number 22, LaDarian Griffin. Their opponents from Brooklyn, New York, the Bishop Loughlin Lions, under head coach Edwin Gonzalez, assisted by Gerard Habert and Lenny Pitt. His starting lineup, wearing number 4, a 6'5" senior, Javian de la Cruz. A 6'1" senior, wearing number 10, Kalek Howe. A 6'8" senior, wearing number 13, Anthony Vernon. And wearing number 5, a 6'3" senior, Michael Williams. And a 6'3" senior, wearing number 11, Kadeen Carrington. Your officials for this contest. Your lead official, Mr. Rosie Hallman, assisted by Mr. Kevin Brown and Mr. Trent Lupo, Esquire.
Tyler Watkins and Van Coleman with this call of the semifinal matchup tonight. The final game on Monday night versus Bishop Loughlin out of Brooklyn, New York versus Providence Stallions out of Jacksonville, Florida. Van, quickly, tell us about 2 or 3 players that we should look out for. Give us some names.
Well, I think for Providence, the 2 guys you're going to watch the most is Grayson Allen, 6'5" senior who's headed to Duke, and Christian Terrell, a 6'5" senior who's headed to Florida Gulf Coast. You know, they don't recruit non-players at Florida Gulf Coast, as we found out in the NCAA tournament. Then you look at Bishop Loughlin. The 3 guys you're gonna see: number 11, Kadeen Carrington, who's headed to Seton Hall. Okay. Number 5, Michael Williams, who's going to Rutgers, and Javian Dela Cruz, a 6'5" senior, unsigned at this point. But I'll tell you what, he does a lot of great things for them. He averages 13 points, 4 rebounds. He's had 5 assists in this tournament. A little bit of everything for that wing, and he's a big key to them offensively, because if you stop the 2 guys that are headed to the big-time schools, he's the guy that's been able to pick it up for them.
Well, you mentioned Kadeen Carrington for Bishop Loughlin, the all-time leading scorer at Bishop Loughlin. Averaged 21 points in this tournament.
Had 27 in the first round, so he's capable of getting 25, 30 any night.
Ball controlled by Providence early, and they lose it out of bounds off the hands of Christian Terrell. So Bishop Loughlin will get an early shot at it, inbounding to Kalek Howell. That's Howell. Howell across the timeline, swings right. Foul line extended for Kadeen Carrington. Inside now for Anthony Vereen, and he walked with it. A couple of quick turnovers to start the game.
Big fella wasn't happy with that call. He replaced a big body, so there's a lot of size around this court. If everybody was here, we'd be seeing some huge bodies going against one another.
Ben Bobbitt loses a handle on it, and quickly the other way. Kalek Howell into Bobbitt, who commits the blocking foul. 15:29 left in the first half. 2 16-minute halves here at the Beach Ball Classic in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
There's no doubt about that. This is one of the great places to come and watch basketball. throughout the year. You know, there's so many things to do here in Myrtle Beach. You know, you can play golf almost year-round. You've got great entertainment here. You folks out there that haven't had a chance to see what goes on in Myrtle Beach, visit myrtlebeach.com is a place that you can check it all out. This is a great thing, and this tournament has been one of the best over the last 25 years, year in and year out.
Inside now for Carrington, and after the hang, gets it to fall to add the first 2 points to the contest for Bishop Loughlin. Across the timeline, Christian Terrell, winner of the slam dunk contest, and a charge call. No, that was Grayson Allen that won the slam dunk contest last night. I'm sorry. Christian Terrell was the three-point shootout winner at the City of Palms tournament.
Well, I'll tell you what, wasn't a lot of contact on that one. I thought he slid by, but official didn't see it that way.
15:07. Kalik Howell across the timeline, swings right for Carrington. Now to De La Cruz, and De La Cruz puts it at left, up off the glass. Good.
I'll tell you what, I like his game. You know, he's very quick. He scores with both hands. Got great length.
Ben Bobbitt guarded by Howell. Bobbitt dribble drive in, kicks it out, and Ladarian Griffin just wasn't there.
You know, we said early that the real key was going to be how well those other players handled the pressure, and early on here, a couple quick turnovers by Providence.
Bishop Loughlin will take a timeout. And, you know, we talked about Christian Terrell and Grayson Allen, those kids. Grayson Allen winning the contest last night, the dunk contest, wearing a Duke uniform, the Duke signee. But Christian Terrell, if you'll Google him or YouTube him, he's got a video online. When I checked it last night, it had 1.3 million hits on the video. It's a slam dunk over a kid in a gym during a game. He came in like a wrecking ball.
You know, sometimes dunks in real life, in other words, in a game, are much more interesting to folks out there. They get much bigger. They get more viral, I guess is the way the term, on YouTube. And people will love it. But I'll tell you what, the dunk last night that Mr. Allen did over 3 6'8" or bigger teammates was pretty impressive. And it was no slide to the side. It was over the top.
You can check that video out at beachballclassic.com. De La Cruz, and they're going to call a foul off the ball on Anthony Vereen for Bishop Loughlin. That'll be his first.
Anthony's having a little struggle down below, trying to use that big, strong body of his, move people
big.
around.
6'8" senior, probably 260, 270.
Yeah, I think might be a little bit north of 270 yet.
Okay. Ben Bobbitt over to Grayson Allen, the Duke signee. Allen inside amongst the trees, and then just the floater up and under, and Grayson Allen showing while he's the Duke commit.
I'll tell you what, great crossover, went back to his left hand, showed you that's a big-time move by a big-time recruit.
Three-pointer on the way, no good by Kadeem Carrington, and rebounded into the hands of Michael Williams, the Rutgers signee. Can't convert. Christian Terrell, left-hander, up off the glass. That one is good.
Tell you one thing about the Providence kids, they use both hands, and they're coming in from the left side. They're using the left hand. That keeps the defense off your body. They got to go through you. They got to foul you if they're going to go after it.
Kalik Howell to Kadeem Carrington. Three-pointer on the way. Short, down into the hands of Grayson Allen. Mr. Do-Everything so far. Underneath, losing a handle on it, is Ladarian Griffin, and he gets it back. Was that Kedar Bryant? Nope, they'll say Ladarian Griffin. Averaging 10.5 points in the tournament.
Well, so far, Providence has used the pass to beat the pressure. And they've been very effective getting the ball up very quickly with the pass.
Michael Williams loses a handle on it for Bishop Loughlin, and Providence will have it going the other way. In Providence built an 18-0 lead against Sac Castile on Friday night before winning that contest and then defeating Moeller to get here tonight. A runner for Michael Williams. And they call him with charging?
They called him with charging. I didn't think there was much contact there at all. If there was anything, it was just a little bit of a shoulder hit because he was up in the air above the guy and just caught him with his leg as he went by.
12:24 left in the first half. Providence leads 6-4. Tyler Watkins and Van Coleman of the Basketball Channel and Hot 100 Hoops, one of the premier talent evaluators in the United States.
Well, thank you for the comment, but you know, I think that more than anything, you know, we're in a new age. Online is everything. That's where we're at tonight. We're broadcasting across the world from here at the Beach Ball Classic and the Basketball Channel. We're becoming the first all one sport network digitally delivered online, the Basketball Channel. Obvious, we cover basketball.
Is there a website for that?
Yes, thebasketballchannel.net.
There you go. Christian Terrell takes it out of bounds in front of the scorer's table. Christian Terrell, the Florida Gulf Coast signee, averaging 11 points in the tournament with the ball, guarded by Javion De La Cruz. Over to Grayson Allen, inside now for Ben Bobbitt. Ben Bobbitt takes it up from the right hip. Can't get it high in the air, but they'll still credit him with a shot and send him to the free throw line for two.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bobbitt's got that running back body. He's very, very strong upper body, can finish against contact.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take one. Providence leads Loughlin 6-4. Back in a moment at the Beach Ball Classic on HTC Sports.
Team, you guys are doing a heck of a job. And don't forget, we got the Big South Championships coming up, and we're all going to head to Myrtle Beach. Road trip! Come on!
Rock the beat.
Don't miss Myrtle Beach Madness. Make your plans now to attend the Big South Basketball Championships March 4 through 9. Everything you need is at visitmyrtlebeach.com/Big South. See you at the beach.
Providence leads Bishop Loughlin with 11:59 left in the first, 6-4. Tyler Watkins, Van Coleman. Van, you were handed the stat sheet by statistician Wayne White. Anything stick out?
Well, what sticks out to me is the fact that both teams are shooting the ball very well when they've been able to get it across court and get into their offense. Providence is 3 for 4. Bishop Loughlin is 2 for 4. But both teams have 4 turnovers each. The defense has been very, very dominant here early. We thought that would happen. It's going to be the team that I think that gets the breakout that can convert it on a regular basis. It's going to be the difference. You know, in the last game we saw 29 turnovers by one team. We're on pace to get that started here with Ben Bobbitt at the line.
Ben Bobbitt, an interesting character. It's his first year at Providence. Had always wanted to go to Providence. Last year played at the Potter's House, and they finally were able to work out the financial details of the situation, and he is now a Providence Stallion, a school that was established in 1997, a private Christian school. On the flip side, Bishop Loughlin, established in 1851.
Yeah, there's a long history. Loughlin's been, you know, a power off and on in Brooklyn for many, many years. Has had some great, great players play there. I think Mark Jackson is from there.
Yeah.
NBA great, and you know, you just look at it and you say, you know, programs, long or short, both these programs are top programs nationally right now.
Kadeem Carrington fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the line for two.
And even, you know, Loughlin, you know, some people would have said coming into the year maybe this isn't a premier year for them, but yet they have 2 major signees in Carrington and Williams. De La Cruz looks like he can play for just about anybody in the country. The only thing maybe they're missing is that one key inside guy that could really make them a difference maker. But I'll tell you what, they get after you, they play you hard, and effort can make up for a lot of things. And I think size is not a problem for them because of the way they play.
Kadeem Carrington averaging 21 points in the Beach Ball Classic, committed to Seton Hall, the all-time leading scorer at Bishop Loughlin. 6'3" senior, makes both of them.
And when you think about who's played there, that's an amazing thing.
Mark Jackson, Curtis Sumter, Doran Lamb. You know who else graduated there? Rudy Giuliani. And a name, I don't know if you'll know this name, Notorious B.I.G. You know who that is?
Yeah, I know, and then unfortunately he is gone.
He is. Do you know his real name?
I do not know the first name.
Put you on the spot, didn't I? Christopher Wallace was his real name.
I saw the movie. I should have remembered that.
Christian Terrell across the timeline, guarded by Kadeem Carrington.
And according to the movie, he didn't have anything to do with the death that he ended up having to pay for.
When I say two, you say Pac. Two.
Pac.
Thank you. Grayson Allen, the Duke signee, drains the three from way outside. He looks so comfortable on the court, as does Christian Terrell. It's almost like they're twins, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you what, they play a lot alike. Allen, maybe a little more confident player, but Terrell really has a nice game. He's going to be an excellent player for Florida Gulf Coast.
Luke Morris guarding Isaac Bowden, and Bowden can't convert. Christian Terrell with the crossover, up off the glass, grabs the points, and he'll go to the line to add another. My goodness.
I tell you what, I like to see guys with great fundamentals, and Allen and Terrell use their left hand when they're on the drive as well as any guys I've seen this year so far. They have great confidence. They can go left or go right. They're going to score with that ball off the glass.
You know, you talked about the history of the Providence School out of Jacksonville, Florida, and I went to look up all the athletic achievements through the years, and it's 5 pages long, including equestrian, lacrosse, of course, basketball, golf, volleyball, track and field, other. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
And so far, they've looked very, very good. And, you know, sometimes private schools, let's face it, they work very hard to get kids there. And they've been able to get not only kids that are great students, but great athletes.
They were the 2010 and 2013 varsity regional champs and state champions in basketball. And I just won't bore you with the whole list because it's long. But if you want to check it out, you can Google them or Google Providence School and see the whole list.
Well, I'll tell you what, anytime you can get 2 kids of the ilk of Terrell and Allen to your school, you know you're going to be successful.
Gleek Howell across the timeline, swings right for Carrington. Carrington looks back for Bowden. To Howell, swinging around for Bowden. And Bowden back to De La Cruz. Back to Bowden. Kadeem Carrington on the spin, walked with it, a couple of extra steps, and Trent Lupo was on the far side to catch him.
Carrington didn't agree with that call. He didn't think he traveled. He thought he made a clean spin, but official didn't see it that way.
Van, have you ever known a player to agree with the call official made?
No, not many coaches either.
We saw a kid the other day that walked in the girls' tournament, and the whistle blew. She looked over the official, and she said, "You saw that, didn't you?" the official just walked away laughing.
Well, at least the young lady knew that she'd...
Oh, yeah. Michael Williams, the Rutgers commit, loses a handle on it, but Bishop Loughlin able to get it back and brings it within 8. Wow, it's gotten away quick. Providence 16 leading Bishop Loughlin 8 with 9:46 left in the first half. Up and under on the drive for Ben Bobbitt. Misses the shot, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Been really surprised for Loughlin that that Michael Williams doesn't look for a shot more. In the summertime, he absolutely lit it up in the Nike EYBL. And so I've been really surprised that he hasn't looked for that 3-pointer more.
First one on the way is good for Ben Bobbitt. Averages 4 points a game in the tournament, but really effective as the point guard, distribution man for the Providence Stallions.
Well, so far Providence has handled the press by passing against the press and not letting them get into that bump and run game that Loughlin likes to play. I think that you got to look at it this way. Coach Martin did a very good job of scouting that before they got on the floor today.
Bishop Loughlin is going to bring back in Anthony Vereen and take out Isaac Bowden. That's a 6'3" senior swapping for a 6'8" senior coming in.
one of the advantages of having Sunday in this tournament this year. Gave those teams that played in the quarterfinals a chance to really put something together to counteract what the other team does well. And I can see that Coach Martin did a good job with his guys in preparing for Loughlin and the pressure they're going to give you defensively.
You know, this is my second broadcast today, Van, and I hadn't even thought about that. Good observation. To the line, Kadeen Carrington. 21 points average in the game. Committed to Seton Hall. Bishop Loughlin. Shoot 2. Down by 8. By the way, tomorrow the Consolation Championship will start at 1:45 p.m. That's Miller Grove versus Norcross. In the 5th place game, Bullis School versus Moeller at 3:30 p.m. The 3rd place game at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. That's Madison Memorial versus the loser of this game. And the championship at 7:30. Northland versus the winner of this game, and he made both of them, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And, you know, he's a confident offensive player. He believes in himself every time he touches the ball. I can see why he's their leading scorer all time.
Luke Morris guarded by Kadeen Carrington. And attempts to get it to Bobbitt, but finds Grayson Allen instead. Grayson Allen, left-handed bounce pass over to Luke Morris. And they get it back up to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen has signed with Duke. Takes that long three-pointer. Down with it is Javion De La Cruz. Quickly ahead to Michael Williams, and a block shot by Providence. Ahead to Grayson Allen. Slam dunk, baby!
I tell you what, he blocked it on one end, comes down on the other end, and just throws it down. You know, the most impressive thing about Grayson Allen is he was just a jump shooter as a sophomore. He has really developed a complete game as a senior.
Javion De La Cruz's jumper swishes in and out. Back to Allen. To the right corner now. Three-pointer on the way. And that one is good. Look at Luke Morris. Quiet young man who has come on lately.
Coach Gonzalez has got to get his team back in it.
And a media timeout on the court. Providence leads 23-10. We'll take a timeout and come right back. This is the Beach Ball Classic on HTC Sports.
My LTE smartphone from HTC Wireless connects me to friends and family faster than ever with 4G connection speed. And that means faster shopping, sharing on Facebook, uploading photos and videos wherever, whenever. And when my family needs more data on all of our phones and tablets, HTC has a plan for that, connecting me with the things that mean the most.
Switch to HTC Member Connections and save up to $1,000 over 2 years. Call 369-8968.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
Congratulations, here's your prize, and you get to connect all of this stuff all by yourself. But there will be no crying when you call the man. 845-2760 is the number.
And I'll take care of you.
Be a part of Myrtle Beach Madness. So visit myrtlebeach.com/Big South.
The Chicken Man at the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Reflecting nicely off your head there, Van.
Yeah, I can see that. We can probably get a double shot of him off my head.
8:22 left in the first half of the Beach Ball Classic semifinal, game number 2. The winner will head to the championship game tomorrow night.
Providence has been almost as perfect as you can be from the field. 8 for 10, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Basically, they haven't missed much of anything. They get an opportunity to score. You know, last time around we were talking about cutting the turnovers out. The teams have done that, but Providence has been on fire.
Well, Providence has handled the ball well as well.
Yes, they have. You know, the big thing is that they switched to the pass, and that has really set this game up.
We'll see Luke Morris for Providence battling underneath with Kadeen Carrington holding his ground. Little 5'10" junior. Not intimidated at all. And did they call him for another walk? They did. Anthony Vereen started this game with a walk. Anthony Vereen contributes another walk. 7:50 left, 23-10.
As big as he is, I wouldn't think he can move his feet that quick, but he does.
Ben Bobbitt across the timeline, guarded by Kalik Howell. And on the cut, Oh my goodness, Grayson Allen took the cut and tried to do the reverse. And then takes the ball away on the flip side. Getting after it, diving on the floor, sweeping it ahead. And look at him getting back up on the defender. Van Coleman, that is a series I don't know that I've seen in a long time of the Beach Ball Classic.
I'll tell you what, he is absolutely all over the court. The one thing you don't want to see him do is get into foul trouble. That was a foolish foul there. I think he just basically was a little frustrated with himself. He missed the big dunk. He had the nice play up here defensively. Unfortunately, his teammates didn't hustle the way he hustled. Maybe they'd have gotten the ball back.
That was an unbelievable series for a young man.
He is absolutely amazing athletically. You know, a lot of people early on in his career compared him. There's that Michael Taylor shot that we talked about, him being able to shoot that basketball. He's unbelievable. A lot of people early in his career compared him to J.J. Redick. He does things J.J. Redick only dreams about doing.
Yeah.
Athletically.
Michael Williams with the shot on the side for Bishop Loughlin, and then a slam attempt by Ladarian Griffin. Providence able to take those attempts if you're up by 11.
The other thing is that, we talk about J.J. Redick's in the NBA. So, Grayson Allen has a great future if he continues to develop his game. I think the thing he does that sets him apart is his ability to handle the basketball.
You talk about Grayson Allen, and at the line is Ladarian Griffin, but Grayson Allen is a Duke signee. As a ninth grader, he told his assistant coach, he said, "Coach, one day I would like to play for Duke." And the coach looked at him and said, "Son, you might need to be a little more realistic. Let's focus on now and not worry about that." Dream come true. The kid's going to play at Duke now.
I tell you what, he's done a lot of things. First he became a great shooter. Now he's built his body and athletically done things that at that point as a ninth grader they didn't think he was going to be capable of. Matter of fact, as a sophomore, he was not capable of those things. But he's had a body reformation. He went from about 150 pounds to about 190, and you can see he's got a man's body now.
Van, let me ask you a question. 5-second call on Bishop Loughlin. Let me ask you a question about Grayson Allen. If this is a kid that plays at a high school that perhaps doesn't get a lot of exposure, that doesn't play in a lot of these big-time tournaments, does he still get the opportunities that he has now?
I don't know if he ends up at a Duke. He would end up playing Division I basketball because somebody locally would find him, and he would end up being a kid that we'd be talking about 2-3 years into his college career as he's beating a high major school at a low to mid-major school who got into the tournament. Similar to, you remember a couple years ago, Northern Iowa beat Kansas, and there was a kid by the name of Ali Farouk Manesh who nobody had ever heard of and had 30 on Kansas. That would have been the kind of player Grayson Allen would have been, and he would have then had the chance to play in the NBA down the road.
Sort of like a Jeremy Lin situation.
Yeah. Just a guy that comes out of nowhere and gets the opportunity and then would make what he can of it. But because he's so athletic, it would have been very, very hard for him to hide in any state and not be recruited by a major school out of his own home state.
Teddy Georgie Edis misses both of them. But Providence has doubled up +2 on Bishop Loughlin with 6:28 left in the first. Coming up at the half, Caroline Springs will speak to Providence's coach, Jim Martin. Grayson Allen across the timeline. On the dish, Wyatt Walker up off the glass. They're going to call him for the charge.
Got that shoulder down a little low, just enough he got into the chest of the Loughlin player.
You know what I like about Grayson Allen specifically on that drive, and he does this a lot, he will dish the ball just as much as he will take it inside.
Oh, he's an unselfish player. That's the thing that makes him so special, is that he does play with everybody else. Even though he can do a lot of things as a high school player and athletically does some phenomenal things, it's about winning, it's about playing the game to him.
Kadeen Harrington.
I'll guarantee you that's why Coach K loved him so much when he first saw him and put the full court press on him to get him to come to Duke.
Kedar Bryant gets his hands in the way of the pass, and Providence will control, but they go after Luke Morris on a double team and pin him at the center court line. Foul committed, though, by Isaac Bowden.
One of the things that the Providence coach does not want to see, Coach Martin does not want to see guys over-dribbling the ball. That's how you can put Loughlin back in this game, because they do attack you if you put it on the floor. You know, they were successful in building this league by looking ahead, making the pass, or attacking the basket. There's no horizontal dribbling. He got bailed out with a foul. He was lucky.
Luke Morris, they say, is a quiet kid, but worked his way into the starting lineup, just kept at it. Just a 5'10" junior. Head coach Jim Martin in his 14th year. Coach of the Providence Stallions out of Jacksonville, Florida, 9-3 on the season versus Bishop Loughlin Lions, 6-1 on the season out of Brooklyn, New York. Providence leading 25-12 in the first half with 5:35 left. Inside now for Keith Williams. He's not able to convert. Michael Williams down with it. Michael Williams, 3 on the way, is good. The Rutgers commit. Over 1,000 points in his career. Ben Bobbitt to the right side for a wide open Luke Morris. And Christian Terrell is on the bench for a few moments.
Right now is a real key time for Loughlin. They've got to get a couple stops.
I don't know if the backboard blocked that one or the player blocked it, but Michael Williams lost a handle on it, and Luke Morris was there. Now over to Grayson Allen. Strip attempt from behind. Grayson Allen goes in for his own rebound, and they might call him for the foul.
Looked like number 4 might have come over the back on the backside.
And they are going to call Grayson Allen. That'll be his second.
Ooh, that was a big one. That one could put him on the bench for a while.
Averages 24 points in the game. With Christian Terrell out, they could simply bring him back in and substitute and not lose a lot.
Grayson Allen just told his coach, pointed at his head. He knows he's got to think. He's got to know what he's doing because he can't afford that third foul here in the first half.
And he backs off the defender. So will he tone down that 140% effort a bit?
What, to 110?
That's what I was thinking, actually. Yeah.
Because he plays as hard as anybody that we've watched here in the tournament.
He does.
And then he does it with big-time athleticism on top of it.
Goes after the shooter, but doesn't get too close and aggressive with him. Cognizant of those 2 fouls. Attempted pass underneath for Darius James goes nowhere. And that'll be a turnover for Bishop Loughlin.
Darius James was out of control on that. He had the pass early and didn't make it and tried to force contact before he made the pass.
Van, what's your birth sign? You know, like a Leo, Aquarius?
Aquarius with the cusp of Pisces. I'm February 16th.
I'm a lion, Leo the lion, which is the mascot for Bishop Loughlin.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if there are any Aquarian teams out there. After all, who wants to be a water bearer, right?
Ben Bobbitt almost gets it taken away. Aggressive defense coming now from the Lions of Bishop Loughlin.
Well, they've gotten some opportunities. They've had a couple chances to cut this lead down to about 6, but haven't been able to finish on them.
Ladarian Griffin now to Grayson Allen, the 6'5" senior. Grayson Allen guarded by Michael Williams. Takes a long NBA 3 and just rims out.
That one didn't make a whole lot of sense, but he makes as many of those as he misses. So I guess when you're a 50% three-point shooter, you have that confidence.
And Providence leads 25-15 over Bishop Loughlin. Timeout on the floor. Back in a moment. This is the Beach Ball Classic on HTC Sports.
Plans today to attend the Big South Basketball Championships. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/Big South.
My HTC digital cable service connects me to my favorite shows and new release movies with video on demand, so I can watch what I want, when I want, and I can choose from more than 200 channels, including digital cable sports. I'll never miss a play for my favorite team in any season. With HTC, it's a win-win, because HTC connects me with the things that mean the most.
Primetime on demand, including ABC, available free with any HTC set-top box. Call 369-8961.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
25-15 is the lead for Providence over Bishop Loughlin with 3:36 left in the first half. Tyler Watkins and Van Coleman. And Van, you've noticed a trend for Providence.
That's right. They missed their last 4 shots, knocking their percentage all the way down to 64% in the first half. They still are 8 for 14 from the field, but the big difference here is Bishop Loughlin is 5 for 15, shooting only 33%. They've got to up that percentage. They've got to get better quality shots. One of the things we saw the last couple times down, Michael Williams looking for a shot, is 2 of 3 the last 3 shots he's taken. I think he's going to be a key if Loughlin's going to get back in it here before the end of the half.
Bishop Loughlin's led by Kadeem Carrington with 8 points. On the flip side for Providence, Grayson Allen has 7.
Well, Carrington's been on the bench since he got his second foul, so I think that right now Michael Williams has got to be a difference maker.
Keith Williams misses the 3. Luke Morris with the ball across the timeline, guarded by Kalik Howell. Howell strips it away, and it'll be a 1-on-2. Up and under, gets fouled by Luke Morris, and that was completely and totally unnecessary.
You know, we said you cannot just dribble the ball haphazardly against Loughlin. That's a way to put them back into the game. And, you know, it's one of those things that Luke Morris is going to have to be cognizant of, because that's the second turnover he's had that way.
Christian Terrell has been on the bench for quite a while for the Providence Stallions.
You haven't looked over there to see if he had a minor injury or something?
I don't even see him on the bench. He's coming in, that's why. He's coming back in, as is Deion Johnson, and going out is Kedar Bryant.
I thought they might make a switch Allen for Terrell, just because Allen has the 2 fouls, but I guess Coach Martin has the confidence in Grayson Allen that he can use his head and not make a silly foul here the rest of the half.
Kalik Howell's second one is on the way and good. Wyatt Walker coming back in, the 6'9" junior, being recruited by Davidson, University of North Florida, and some big South schools, averages 9 points in the tournament.
Well, he's a big, strong kid. If he can keep out of foul trouble, he can make a big impact in the second half.
Christian Terrell takes the point guard's duties from Luke Morris. And 5-second call.
Waited too long, directing too much traffic. You gotta move towards the basket when you're dribbling. If you don't, that's the kind of thing that happens.
Right in front of our broadcast booth, Javion De La Cruz inbounds to Kalik Howell. Swing it over to Bowden, Isaac Bowden. Now to Andy, nope, sorry, that was Michael Williams to Keith Williams to Kalik Howell. Howell looking for a pick from De La Cruz. And on the pick and sort of roll, they get it to De La Cruz. Shoots the 3. No good. Down with it is Deion Johnson. Deion Johnson getting harassed in the backcourt. And off the leg of Kalik Howell. That's one thing Bishop Loughlin has done recently, is really get after it defensively. They seem to have upped the pressure in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, putting a lot more pressure on the ball. Coach Gonzalez asked his team to have patience, get a good shot. He did not like that 3-pointer that they just shot down on the other end. He knew that was a big possession. Get it down to 6 points with still 2 minutes plus in the half.
Christian Terrell looking for Grayson Allen and has it stripped away by Bowden. And then Terrell strips it away himself. Quickly ahead, Bobbitt on the run, and the back to Wyatt Walker. Up off the glass is good.
Nice pass by Bobbitt. Walker finishes strong.
Baseline dribble, drive. De La Cruz. Now Bobbitt over to Christian Terrell, who mildly puts it in the basket.
Case in point, dribble towards the basket, attack the basket. 2 easy layups off the dribble drive.
29-17 now for Providence. Stallions out of Jacksonville, Florida, a pre-K through 12th grade school established in 1997, private and Christian. Bishop Loughlin 6-1 on the season, established in 1851. Keith Williams now in the right corner, guarded by Wyatt Walker. They get it back up to Isaac Bowden and swing it around to Kalik Howell. Inside now with the jumper for Javion De La Cruz. Quickly ahead to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen, the behind the back floater, reverse, up and under. Goodness gracious, I could just call it everything.
He has great body control in the air.
Khalid Howell adds 2 of his own. Substantial margin now for Providence over Bishop Loughlin, 31-19. Looks like maybe an injury for Providence as one of the players is down, and that looks like Ben Bobbitt. And it is.
Yeah, he slipped on the floor and may have twisted his knee.
Ben Bobbitt struggling to get up on the far side. He's not holding anything specifically. He's just inching along like a worm.
Well, he's definitely in pain. There's no doubt about that.
Right. Trying to get away from whatever it is. Earlier today, Myrtle Beach defeated Spring Valley in the noon or 10:15 opener. Bullis School defeated Bishop O'Connell 55-52 at noon. In the Moeller-Franklin 145 matchup, that was a big one. Moeller defeated Franklin 88-34. Semifinal number 1 of the Consolation Championship, Miller Grove defeated Hoff 50-45. Then Norcross defeated Father Henry Carr 49-40. Miller Grove will take on Norcross tomorrow in that Consolation Championship game at 1:45. Northland defeated Madison Memorial 51-47 in the previous matchup that you called, and now Providence versus Bishop Loughlin. The winner of this game will play tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. And the right ankle of Ben Bobbitt, how does that affect this team, Van?
Well, I tell you what, it takes one of their ball handlers away, and you just saw it twice down the lane with nice passes. A guy who really can create things off the dribble. That probably puts a little more pressure on Terrell and Allen to handle the ball a little bit more, as Luke Morris has struggled a little bit when he's been in there. That'll probably be the replacement, but definitely makes a big difference because physically Bobbitt is so strong and able to handle the bump and run tactics of the Loughlin kids.
It looks like they're going to rely on Deion Johnson, the 6-foot junior, to come in and sub for Ben Bobbitt for a while as all the teammates come together and sort of tap him on the shoulder and say, you got this one. Just do your thing. 33 seconds left in the first half. We'll talk to head coach Jim Martin at the half. We can corral him over to the broadcast position. Wyatt Walker, the 6'9" junior, brings it across the timeline. Christian Terrell tries to get open. No space available, but they finally get it to him, and back to Walker on the run. Little floater over the front of the rim.
Nice little pick and roll there. Terrell rubbed off, and Wyatt went straight to the basket. It's nice to have a smart big man who understands that once you make that move, to head straight to the rim.
Providence in the man-to-man takes a moment to figure out who they have, and finally Bishop Loughlin is able to add a 3 to finalize the half at 33-24. Tyler Watkins, Van Coleman, and Caroline Springs has gone over to grab head coach Jim Martin. We're going to get an interview with him quickly, right in front of the broadcast position. And Caroline Springs is with Coach Martin.
Here with Coach Martin. First things first, Ben Bobbitt is injured. How's his injury looking? Is it going to affect you in the second half?
He's probably done for the game. He twisted it pretty good, but we've got some other guys ready to go. We got guys ready to go, but hopefully he'll bounce back for us.
All right, well, you're making over 50% of your shots. You got the conditioning to keep up with this fast-paced game?
I hope so. We've played some games already where it's been up and down, so we've played this tempo before. We just got to be a little bit smarter and execute a little bit better on both ends of the court.
All right, Coach, well, good luck, and we'll see you at the end of the game.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Tyler.
Thank you, Caroline. Caroline Springs with head coach Jim Martin. At the half, Providence leads Bishop Loughlin. It's 33-24. Back in a moment on the Beach Ball Classic on HTC Sports.
My HTC digital cable service connects me to my favorite shows and new release movies with video on demand, so I can watch what I want, when I want. And I can choose from more than 200 channels, including digital cable sports. I'll never miss a play for my favorite team in any season. With HTC, it's a win-win, because HTC connects me with the things that mean the most.
Primetime on demand, including NBC, available free with any HTC set-top box. Call 369-8961.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
The fun in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina always begins at the beach. 60 miles of picture-perfect coastline provide the perfect opportunity to get outside and enjoy the area's #1 attraction absolutely free. Start here to begin your affordable vacation getaway. Earning several honors, including the world's best beach by Yahoo Travel and top family destination by Ask.com, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is renowned for much more than its shoreline. World-class entertainment, endless shopping opportunities, award-winning dining, championship golf, spectacular spas, and family-friendly affordability are never far when visiting the Grand Strand. Spend the day checking out the brand new boardwalk, voted 3rd best boardwalk in the nation by National Geographic. And when the sun goes down, the lights come up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Host to a vibrant social scene and entertainment options that just don't stop, you can begin a fun night out sampling cosmopolitan cuisine from one of the area's esteemed restaurants, or take your pick from a variety of live action-packed shows showing nightly. If you're longing for a little more peace and quiet where life moves a little slower, check out the distinctly southern moss-draped oak trees at Brook Green Gardens, a National Historic Landmark, or savor locally caught seafood and Carolina low-country cuisine along the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk. Family-friendly events like the annual Sun Fun Festival, Beach Boogie and Barbecue Festival, a Memorial Day weekend celebration are always sure to impress, providing another free way to enjoy the South Carolina sunshine. And popular water parks, oceanfront amusement parks, and outdoor entertainment complexes keep families coming back year after year. No matter the tempo of your vacation, the Myrtle Beach area has something to offer everyone, combining rich Southern heritage with modern-day appeal to deliver memorable family moments sure to last a lifetime. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and experience so much more for so much less.
My LTE smartphone from HTC Wireless connects me to friends and family faster than ever with 4G connection speed. And that means faster shopping, sharing on Facebook, uploading photos and videos wherever, whenever. And when my family needs more data on all of our phones and tablets, HTC has a plan for that, connecting me with the things that mean the most.
Switch to HTC Member Connections and save up to $1,000 over 2 years. Call 369-8968.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
The 33rd Annual Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the J. Lambeau Schwartz Arena inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. It's day 4 of 5, game 7 of 7, the semifinal matchup with the winner of this game playing in the championship game tomorrow night versus Northland at 7:30 p.m. Taking a look at some of the stats for the first half, leading scorers for Providence, Grayson Allen with 9, Christian Terrell with 7. The only other stat that sticks out is 10 turnovers for Providence, the same amount as Bishop Loughlin. Providence shooting 67% from the field as compared to 36% from the field for Bishop Loughlin. Bishop Loughlin's leading scorers include Michael Williams and Kaneen Carrington, both with 8 points. Points in the paint, though, the difference, Providence with 20 points in the paint, Bishop Loughlin with just 8. Tyler Watkins and Van Coleman of the Basketball Channel and Hot 100 Hoops. And I guess that's the basketballchannel.net and hot100hoops.com. All right.
Oh, you couldn't have them be the same. You know, you got to have a little difference in those things. You know, the big difference in this game has been the shooting ability of Providence. They've done a great job of scoring not only inside, but they've also had that little advantage outside. They've hit 7-11 from the free throw line. They've had more attempts there because they're attacking the basket. And I think that's a real key in this game. That's why they've gotten those easy in the paint buckets, because they've attacked the rim.
Well, we have the kids superstars on the court performing, and this is Axl Rose's version, I guess. He does a pretty good job, actually. And you get a little TV time. You can watch these games on HTC Cable Channel 4 and online at beachballclassic.com. Van, one of the great things about having you at this tournament, and we know there's a ton of just talent evaluators that are sitting along the sidelines, but you've been doing this for years and years and one of the most respected in the country, and I know you travel the country and have for years and years, but can you talk about some of the players maybe that you're looking at in this particular tournament?
Well, you know, every time I come to the Beach Ball Classic, there's always guys to watch, guys to see, maybe some guys make a breakout, those kind of things. You know, in the class of 2014, Ramel Trimble, who's going to Maryland. We watched earlier today. There's a guy's on the cusp of the McDonald's game. We've taken a look at him. Grayson Allen, who's been phenomenal in this game with the kind of things that he can do. He's a lock. He went from on the cusp, I think, to being in the game based on what I'm hearing along press row. Mike Williams, Kadeem Carrington, guys that are going to be playing in the Big East. You know, anytime I can see that quality of player. But then I go and you got to look at the younger kids. Okay. The younger kids are really the key. Luke Kennard, Franklin, Ohio, got hurt in the tournament, has a real bad problem with shin splints. But on the opening night, you got to see the real Luke Kennard here at the beachballclassic.com and on HTC. 45 points. I'll tell you, the 3-game record was in trouble until he had the problem with the shin splints. I really believe that. This was going to be a great tournament. Last year, he was the most outstanding player at the Beach Ball Classic. And so I think he was due for a big one. Luke May, big 6'8" power forward from Ho High School up in North Carolina. A guy that I think has got an immense upside. Big face-up 4 guy. I really think that, you know, top 100 junior. Had not seen him before this tournament. So big find for me. When I look at the other kids, you look at some of the younger kids, Perry Dozier had 42. He can put it up in numbers. 6'2" guard from here in state. His teammate Jordan Bruner, another guy with a lot of potential. Big-time future maybe for him. Seth Towns, who we saw in the last game, didn't have a great game there, but is the reason that Northland got to the semifinals in the first place. He'll be a big key to them winning it. Aldrich Gilbert, a young sophomore who was tremendous early in the tournament. And then there was a freshman. Familiar name here in these parts.
All right.
Jalik Felton.
Jalik Felton. There you go, yeah.
Raymond's cousin. And I'll tell you what, he's a guy that has a future beyond belief. Now, he got schooled the first night by Luke Kennard, but the future is going to be bright for him. Don't be surprised if he plays in that same 3-letter league someday that Raymond does.
ACC? Oh, the NBA.
The NBA, yes.
Let me ask you a question. You know, earlier today, Roy Williams was in attendance. We had Wojciechowski from Duke yesterday. We had Brad Brownell from Clemson here a couple of days ago. We've had, you know, assortment of colleges from Elon to the list could go on and on. But what can a performance in the Beach Ball Classic do for one of these kids? If they come out, a name you've never heard perhaps, and this kid comes out and just blows it out for 4 games in the Beach Ball Classic, how does that affect you guys as a talent evaluator, and what does it do to their stock, specifically here at the Beach Ball Classic?
Well, it can take them from being a low mid-major to being a high major prospect. If you do it for 3 or 4 games here at the Beach Ball Classic against great competition, that's a proof positive. In other words, if you do it 1 game, it's one thing. If you do it for 4 games, that really is meaningful for all the guys sitting on the court side, and it can make the difference in having a chance. Let's say Christian Terrell, who's been tremendous in the early going in this game and has been good throughout the tournament. If he was not signed, you would see his recruiting list change immensely.
I see.
And he would be recruited by the Southeastern Conference, the ACC, people like that, because his body style, they'll take a chance on him adding the strength, making the changes to his body. For Florida Gulf Coast, he's a guy that's a star for 3 years.
Well, let me ask you about this. The Beach Ball Classic in their 33rd year now, you know, and I've been doing this since 1990, I guess.
And I've been coming here for 25 years, so.
About the same amount of time. You know, we've seen a lot of other tournaments come along, and some of them will claim the America's Holiday Tournament, or whatever the case is. The Beach Ball Classic claimed America's finest holiday basketball tournament years and years and years ago. How is
that's because that's what they were called at that time.
Right.
Without a doubt.
How has it changed in you know, over the years? Is the Beach Ball Classic still the preeminent holiday basketball tournament? Are there others that are equally as good nowadays, or are there some trying to compete, or what does the landscape look like in tournament
it changes year to year. A year ago, much talent at the Beach Ball Classic than there was anywhere in the country. This year, maybe not as much talent, but some great teams. You know, it comes and goes. Usually you either have great teams or you have great individual talent. And it kind of is in a flow and a flux. A lot of times you may get guys as sophomores and have them back as seniors. You miss them as a junior. So they kind of, every other year you may have those kind of things. I think the beach ball every year competes as one of the top 5 tournaments in the country, year in and year out. The class of the tournament No, they're as good as any place you ever go to watch a tournament. The way it's run, the hospitality, all those kind of things put the beach ball at a whole nother level against a lot of tournaments. I think that's the thing you've got to look at. It's not just, you know, this year maybe it's not as good team-wise or talent-wise as it has been some other years, but the tournament itself never drops off. And the one thing I like about it is you're watching Grayson Allen. He goes from being a guy on the cusp of being a McDonald's to being a McDonald's All-American. Those are the things you get when you come to great tournaments like this. But when you talk about how the tournaments run, the way everything's put together, Tyler, there are very few that even are in the same breadth with the Beach Ball Classic.
Well, you've been to a lot of those tournaments, and I see, you know, images on Facebook or Twitter or whatever the case is of some of these tournaments, and they're held in just basic high school gyms. This is in the Beach Ball, you know, in the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, a huge production, and I want to talk about that a little bit more. But right now, Caroline Springs has gone out to grab Edwin Gonzalez, the Bishop Loughlin coach, for a couple of minutes. And Caroline, whenever you're ready, go right ahead.
Here with Coach Gonzalez. A hard first start, but came out after the half. The guys are looking good. Seemed to have a little trouble moving the ball around. Some of the shots weren't falling for you. How was that?
We didn't play together that half at all. We missed our defensive assignments, of course, and we didn't do a good job in transition. And we was rushing. We was a little bit rushing. I think our emotions got the best of us. Hopefully, we'll do a better job in the second half.
All right. Well, what'd you tell the guys to boost their confidence?
Just to relax, you know, just to relax. We wanted it under double digits in the second half, and that's what we had. We had 9 points against a lot of ball game left to be played. You know, one possession at a time, and we got great ball clubs. So you know what, one possession at a time. We'll get back at this game, and then we'll play some basketball.
All right. Well, you have a great team, and good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Caroline Springs with head coach Edwin Gonzalez of Bishop Loughlin. Providence leading 33-24.
You know, when we were talking about being a great tournament, the Beach Ball Classic, there was a time, a 10-year run, where either the national champion in high school came out of this tournament or the #1 player in the country came out of this tournament. There's no doubt that the Beach Ball Classic earned that title of the finest high school tournament in the country. And I think it's always going to be year to year on who is and who isn't. But when you look at it over a period of time, this is the finest high school basketball tournament in America.
Is there another tournament that's played in an environment like this? I mean, this is an arena-style environment. The ones I see are all in gyms generally. Are there any others that are played like this?
There are a couple, but not. They're mostly in the Midwest, and they're more localized in the kind of situations because the city gets involved as they have here. But you know, the City of the Palms. A tournament that is before Christmas has been one of the top tournaments in the country. Played in the high school gym. The Tarkanian Classic out in Las Vegas, played in the high school gym. When you look at the tournaments it competes with, most of them are in that venue. They decided here a number of years ago to move from Socastee High School up here to the Convention Center, and it's been great for the Beach Ball Classic.
You know, the only thing that's missing now that was in play when we were at Socastee High School was the availability of essentially 24-hour hospitality food room that was at the old Socastee High School. You could go get a sandwich at almost any time of the day. Now they have a set time frame. It's usually from 5 to 7, and the food is tremendous and the service is tremendous, and it's very upscale. It's just a little bit different. Then it was sandwiches and crackers or whatever the case is.
Well, what happens in those situations? You have so many volunteers, so many people involved here to make this success that it is. And when you get to that point, you no longer can do it the old home-style way where all the moms and everybody brought in the food. Yeah, they brought in the food. It has to be a production.
33-24, make it 35-24 now for Providence, scoring the first 2 of the second half. 2 16-minute halves here at the Beach Ball Classic. The winner of this one will go to the championship game tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. The loser will play at 5:30 p.m. for third place. And Kadeen Carrington off the front of the iron, a little floater. Back to within 9 now for Bishop Loughlin. 15 minutes left in the second.
You can see how important he was when he got that second foul to Bishop Loughlin.
Be interesting to see how Providence reacts with Ben Bobbitt out of the game, twisted that ankle. We heard from his coach at the start of the second half, or start of the halftime. Said he probably won't be back. I don't even see him on the bench. Do you?
Ben Bobbitt?
Yes.
Number 3
is on the floor.
They taped him, and he is back out there, even though the coach said he didn't think he would be back.
He is back out there. You're right.
That might be that football player mentality.
That is something. And Ben Bobbitt there with the ball. Swinging around now for Christian Terrell. Three-pointer on the way. And a little spin move to add to the 3.
You know what? The lefty has long range.
Another lefty up off the glass, Kadeem Carrington.
One of the keys in this game may be the fact he got that second foul and had to sit the last 8 minutes of the first half.
I am just shocked that Ben Bobbitt was almost carried off the court. Now he's back out and looks like nothing happened. Van, if that would have happened to me, I'd have been out 6 months. Wyatt Walker with his own rebound and puts it back up strongly, the 6'9" junior.
You know, Ty, I thought you were a little tougher than that.
No, buddy. I was when I was 20 years old.
Well, yeah, but you know, that's when you would have been playing. So maybe you would have been back out.
Ben Bobbitt.
Today, yes, I agree with you.
Look at that. Ben Bobbitt to Grayson Allen to Christian Terrell for the dunk.
What a pass. I mean, that wraparound to Terrell making the break down the lane, beautiful. Thing of beauty.
Christian Terrell, the Florida Gulf Coast signee. Have you YouTubed that video yet for Christian Terrell?
No, I haven't had a chance to do that. I'm definitely going to check it out tonight, though.
Just go to YouTube and type in Christian Terrell dunk. Down with it is Christian Terrell. Quickly ahead to Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen thinks about it, gets it back to Terrell on the drive. He dishes, though, to Ladarian Griffin in the air, gets it back and puts it up left-handed up off the glass. Christian Terrell trying to duplicate what Grayson Allen did in the first half, and they're up 44-28. Man, is this getting away from Bishop Loughlin?
Yeah, Loughlin's got to get really careful here because Providence is going vertical. When Providence goes vertical, they've been really good. In other words, attacking the basket, no fuss, no muss, no extra dribbles, get the ball to the rim in a hurry. They're really good. They've got to make sure every possession counts from now on. Just like their coach said before the start of the half. That's what they got to do. Take care of the ball, get possessions. They haven't done that early.
Providence's head coach Jim Martin discusses things with his team. The Providence Stallions out of Jacksonville, Florida, 9-3 on the season, established in 1997, a private Christian school. Jim Martin, 14 years as head coach. Bishop Loughlin, on the other hand, established in 1851, 808 students, grades 9 through 12, out of Brooklyn, New York. The Lions 6-1 on the season. And what do you see that stands out on the stat sheet?
Well, the big thing as far as controlling things for Bishop Loughlin, Kadeem Carrington is leading them with 12 points, but he set out 8 minutes of the game. On the other end, it's balance. Providence, Terrell has 14, Allen has 9. They lead it, but they've got Walker Wyatt has 8, and 3 other players with either 4 or 5, so it's been a very balanced attack for Providence.
Roosevelt Holloman hands it to Bishop Loughlin to inbound. Officials for tonight's game, Roosevelt Holloman, Kevin Brown, and Trent Lupo. Carrington, stop, pop, back of the iron, down with it is De La Cruz. And Wyatt Walker says, I'll take that ball, ahead to Christian Terrell. Christian Terrell on the crossover dribble, left-handed up off the glass.
He's feeling it. I mean, he just basically said, I'm going all the way to the rim, no matter what.
Yeah, no, that's an accurate description. He is feeling it now. Christian Terrell, the Florida Gulf Coast signee, averages 11 points in the Beach Ball Classic, 6.5, 6'5".
I'll guarantee you, Florida Gulf Coast is really happy that they have that signature on a national letter of intent, because he would have high majors all over him this spring.
17 points in the game for Christian Terrell, leading all scorers. What's the point of this? Why do you roll the ball across the timeline?
Trying to save as much time as possible because they're going to need every second. But if you don't take care of the basketball and score, it's meaningless. And Mike Williams is down also with an ankle turn.
And Kadeem Carrington up for the slam, and Michael Williams holding his left ankle. It's going to be a tough one for him.
I didn't see whether he just rolled it or whether he stepped on someone's foot.
Michael Williams with 8 points in the game, 3 for 6 from field goal, 2 for 4 3-point land.
But he's in a lot of pain.
Hey, while we have a second, open up a new tab in your browser if you're watching this online. If you're watching at HTC on cable channel 4, well, just go grab your laptop and pull up visitmyrtlebeach.com. Check out all the wonderful things to do on the 60-mile stretch of the Grand Strand. Van, personally, I like to take advantage of several things, and I'll discuss those with you if you don't mind listening.
I'm right here, baby.
Thanks for asking, Van. You know, I've recently got into canoeing, so one of the things I like to do is go out to Peachtree Landing, and I know you don't know where that is, but boy, it's so beautiful down in there. Just you find a nice day when it's about 80 degrees and just canoe around for a little while and find little coves and areas. I'm a big kayaker as well. I like to surf and enjoy the beach as much as possible. I like to scuba dive. I like to go fishing, freshwater, and we have ocean fishing. I live about 3 blocks either way, so I could go 3 blocks to the waterway and catch freshwater fish, 3 blocks to the ocean and catch whatever I'd like in the ocean.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's so many things to do here. And, you know, and don't forget, for many people when they come here, the number one thing they come for, and that's golf. I mean, we got close to 100 golf courses here along the Grand Strand. It's a golfer's paradise. It's a fisherman's paradise. It's a water lover's paradise. And then, you know, if the little lady has something that she doesn't really get into some of those things, then it's a shopper's paradise.
It is indeed. We have Tanger outlets and multiple malls. One of the things I've discovered this year that's interesting is a professional theater company. It's called Atlantic Stage, and you can visit them online if you'd like, atlanticstage.com. I ordered 4 season tickets for Atlantic Stage because I like to go to each one of their performances twice. So I'll go the first time and take my daughter, and then go back a second time and take somebody that maybe doesn't get to experience theater along the Grand Strand that much.
Well, and too, with theater, a lot of times the first time you go, you're enthralled with the performance. The second time you go, you're actually picking out the nuances and trying to pick up on the little things that happen within the play that make it really enjoyable for you.
That's exactly right. You may be the first person ever to get that, Van. Thank you.
Because when people ask you, why do you go twice, there's a reason.
That's why. I get to enjoy it and relax the second time. 47-30 is the lead for Providence, and Michael Williams goes out of the game limping mightily. He's adjusting his left shoe on the sidelines, doesn't seem to be grimacing, and Ben Bobbitt has made his way back into the game. Maybe Michael Williams can as well. Isaac Bowden in the left corner, up to Kalik Howell, back to Bowden. To Howell, steps on the 3-point line, takes the shot, and they give it to him anyway. By the way, if you're looking at the court, there are 2 lines. There's a white line and a red line. The white line is for the college game, and the red line is for the high school game. A lot of players here, though, only see that white line and tend to take shots behind it. Christian Terrell fouled in the act of shooting. 49-33 is the lead for Providence over Bishop Loughlin. Timeout on the floor. Let's take one as well, and we'll come back in just a moment with the Beach Ball Classic on HTC Sports.
Team, you guys are doing a heck of a job. And don't forget, we got the Big South Championships coming up, and we're all going to head to Myrtle Beach. Road trip! Come on!
Rock the beat.
Don't miss Myrtle Beach Madness. Make your plans now to attend the Big South Basketball Championships March 4 through 9. Everything you need is at visitmyrtlebeach.com/Big South. See you at the beach.
It's a 16-point lead for Providence Stallions out of Jacksonville, Florida, over the Bishop Loughlin Lions out of Brooklyn, New York. Providence has led by as much as 19 at one point just a few moments ago. And Bishop Loughlin, it's a long way to go to get back into this one, Van.
Well, and you know what? Providence has controlled the inside game. They've outscored them 32-14 in the paint. And those are the kind of shots that give you high percentages. That's why when you look at the shooting, Providence is 19 for 30, and Bishop Loughlin's 12 for 32. The only way they're going to get back in the game is they've got to create possessions, and that means you're going to have to go 94 feet and get into a pressure game. There's no other way, because you're talking 8-10 possessions to even get a shot to get back in this game that they've got to pick up over the next 11 minutes.
Christian Terrell at the line, 3 for 3 for the night. 18 points, leads all scorers. Make it, oh, did I really?
I think you just did it. You jinxed him. The famous announcer's jinx.
Yeah. Three-pointer is good by Isaac Bowden. Averages 3 points.
I think actually there's a plexiglass thing that when we start talking about free throws, it flips down and we just can't see it because it's clear.
I see. Ben Bobbitt swings it over to Christian Terrell in the right corner. Terrell gets pinned, and a foul coming against Kalik Howell. Kalik Howell appeared from my vantage to get a clean swat at the ball, but the official, who was much closer, says otherwise.
And then, by the way, at the Beach Ball Classic, that's controlled by the Lucky Dog production crew.
What is?
They're listening to us, and as soon as they hear us talk about free throws, they hit the little switch, and the plexiglass comes down.
Donald has a little button in the back, huh?
No doubt about it.
They just adjust the glass or the rim, and okay, makes sense to me.
Because it's just too much to just be a coincidence.
It's actually happened several times. I mentioned the other day during a game that about one of the players breaking the backboard here at the Beach Ball Classic, and two shots later they broke the scoreboard above the backboard to our right on a dunk.
That's one you never want to mention, because that takes an hour to fix.
Well, they just left it down and kept playing, but I mean, it was 2 plays later the guy slammed it.
Thank goodness it wasn't the glass.
Darius James gets it to Carrington. Carrington takes it inside, but rebounded by Grayson Allen off the missed shot. Allen guarded by Carrington. Carrington, the Seton Hall commit versus the Duke commitment.
Two really good and talented high school players.
I agree with you on that, but the talent level in this game seems to be a wide margin between Grayson Allen and Kadeem Carrington. Maybe we're just not seeing him at his top performance, but Grayson Allen has just been extraordinary. Three-pointer on the way, and that one just nothing but the bottom of the net for Grayson Allen.
One of the reasons why is Grayson Allen is extraordinary. There are not many athletes like him in high school basketball with the ability to shoot the ball the way he does.
Kedar Bryant stepped on the inbounds line as he was looking for Ben Bobbitt, who was nowhere to be found, tied up with a defender. So the pressure from Bishop Loughlin finally results in a turnover, and Isaac Bowden will take it out of bounds to our right.
Now Loughlin's got to take this, and we got 9 minutes and 48 seconds. It's got to be 3-minute games the rest of the way. They've got to cut 2 baskets off every 3 minutes to have an opportunity to win this ball game.
Kadeem Carrington gets the defenders up, and he'll go to the line for 2. Will they call Christian Terrell with the foul, the 6'5" senior? And they do. That'll be his 3rd foul.
Loughlin just can't get the roll. Ball off the back of the rim, can't get it to go down.
Timeout on the floor for the Providence Stallions. Jim Martin, in his 14th year, says, I'd like to take a moment to speak to my young men. 60-second timeout on the floor.
Well, one of the things you don't want to do right now is you don't want to get lackadaisical and put them back in the game. In other words, take one of those 3-minute segments and all of a sudden give up 7 or 8 points, because then it's under 10 and then anything can happen.
Van Coleman and Tyler Watkins with this broadcast. Van, take a moment, if you will, to talk to us a little bit about the basketballchannel.net.
Well, the Basketball Channel is going to be the first 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year digital network to cover one sport, and that is the sport of basketball. And you know, our goal is that not only are we going to cover high school basketball, we have college games already on our site. We cover the Atlantic 10 the Patriot League, the Mountain West, and the West Coast League. Next year we're going to be adding the Big East from what we understand. We're also going to be covering summer leagues this summer for the NBA. We're going to have WNBA in the future on our sites. So it's a growing enterprise. We're also looking at going to Europe, to Asia, to cover professional games across the world. So a lot of different things. We've got a Legends Tour coming up this year that we will have Allen Iverson and other notables like Jason Williams who will be competing in a tour in South Africa that we're going to have on the network. So a lot of different things going on with the basketball channel.
That is thebasketballchannel.net, and while he's at the free throw line, I'll tell you about my project. It's called GrandstrandSportsReport.com, Van. Sort of the same thing, but what we focus on is local sports to the Myrtle Beach area. So you've got the 6 high schools, Socastee, Conway, Carolina Forest, North Myrtle Beach, and St. James. And we cover everything from wrestling to volleyball to football to basketball to baseball. And we highlight 3 players each week with the Mammy's Kitchen Athlete of the Week. And it has gone wildly, crazily.
Well, you've got great sports fans here.
You do indeed.
I mean, you got people who are interested in all sports, football, basketball, wrestling. They get into it, and I tell you what, you got great fans in the area, and I can see where that will become a very successful enterprise for you.
Wow, Grayson Allen to the glass, up under, off the left side, and he'll go to the line to add another.
I will tell you, if you just saw him when he was young, and he weighed about 150, looked like the wind would blow him over. No longer is that the case.
So if local sports is your thing, check out GrandstrandSportsReport.com. Just go ahead and look at it now. And if you don't see the updated game from today, it's because I'm still doing the broadcast. But we'll update it. As soon as I get off the air, I'll walk over and write the story and put it up for you. Isaac Bowden looks to Javion De La Cruz. Over to Carrington. Carrington to Bowden. Bowden 3 on the way. Off the back of the iron. 2 rebounders there. Grayson Allen down with it for Providence. Looking for Ben Bobbitt. Allen keeps it himself. Crossover dribble. Then bounce pass inside for Kedar Bryant. Loses a handle on it, and Bishop Loughlin gets it back.
You know, he's an unselfish superstar, too. That's the thing I really like about him, is that he looks for teammates off the dribble, and is the kind of kid that can run the break for you at the college level. Is going to be very, very successful, I think, in what Duke likes to do, especially when they get into the mode of pushing it off the glass and getting up and getting involved. Here again, trying to save a few seconds. Bishop Loughlin, but you got to convert.
Well,
just like that.
Do it. Give it to Kadeen Carrington. Let him take it in. The all-time leading scorer at Bishop Loughlin. Look at Grayson Allen or Christian Terrell. Crossover dribble between the legs to Ben Bobbitt now. Bobbitt very mobile on an ankle that was injured earlier in the game, and they're going to call him for charging. Out of control into the paint. And Ben Bobbitt will pick up the foul. That'll be his second.
Well, you know what? If they go on and win this game, it could be very, very key, because sometimes you can come back from something like that and play within the game that you're in.
Until you wake up tomorrow morning.
That's right, and it might blow up like a balloon, and then all of a sudden you can't walk and you can't play. And based on the way Northland plays defense, you can't afford to not have one of your top ball handlers missing for tomorrow night's game.
Well, they converted on the first one. Let's see if they can convert the second time they roll the ball down court. And Grayson Allen, or Christian Terrell, says, I'm going to have something to do with that, but he steps on the inbound line. And Bishop Loughlin will get it back.
Yeah, he missed that initial rebound and then had to go after it, and he stepped on the line before he went in the air. Amazing thing is he actually got his hands on it and was able to pass it toward the teammate.
Kadeen Carrington swings it cross-court pass for Cleek Howell. Three-pointer rims out down to Wyatt Walker.
Well, that was down in, too. Came pop back out. Little side spin.
Christian Terrell to Grayson Allen. And we've got a battle underneath as Wyatt Walker hits the floor.
Must be a wet spot. He went to set his feet, and boy, they came out from under him.
Gets up holding his right elbow.
Yeah, he went down hard. As he went to set up to post up, and all of a sudden his feet just came completely out from under him.
Man, I've seen a trend at the Beach Ball Classic this year. It's players that are rolling the tops of their pants down. And in most cases, the tag ends up hanging out of the back of the shorts. Any idea what that's about?
Nah, who knows? You know, kids pick up a trend. They decide to do something that's different than everybody else does. Next thing you know, everybody says, hey, I want to do that. That's cool.
Well, he's got his partially rolled. He just didn't complete the process, but some of these teams have it. I just don't understand it.
Like Grayson Allen has one that comes out in the back. There it is, right there. You can see on Grayson Allen, number 1, you get a shot of the back of him. You can tell what we're talking about when it comes to having the tag show on the backside.
Yeah. Christian Terrell. Look at that. That's Kadeem Carrington. Finds a lane, an easy shot. Brings it to within 17. Providence leading Bishop Loughlin. And Grayson Allen with the ball inside to Wyatt Walker. Spin, cross-court pass, wide open. Three-pointer, good by Luke Morris.
Okay, just when you think Loughlin's doing a few things right, they give up a wide-open 3.
Kadeem Carrington inside commits the charge over Ben Bobbitt. It's a replay of what happened on the flip side when Ben Bobbitt went down the floor and picked up the charge against Carrington. 7:22, timeout on the court, 61-41.
My LTE smartphone from HTC Wireless connects me to friends and family faster than ever with 4G connection speed. And that means faster shopping, sharing on Facebook, uploading photos and videos wherever, whenever. And when my family needs more data on all of our phones and tablets, HTC has a plan for that, connecting me with the things that mean the most.
Switch to HTC member connections and save up to $1,000 over 2 years. Call 369-8968.
HTC. This is life. Connect with it.
Your trees are beautiful, but you're going to have a problem when all those pretty leaves fall. But you could call the man. 845-2760 is the number, so give him a call.
And I'll take care of you.
Be a part of Myrtle Beach Madness. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/Big South.
61-41 is the lead for Providence over Bishop Loughlin with 7:22 left in the second half. Tyler Watkins and Van Coleman, 2 16-minute halves at the 33rd Annual Beach Ball Classic at the J. Lambeau Schwartz Arena inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. This is day 4 of 5, game 7 of 7. It all culminates tomorrow night with the championship game at 7:30 p.m. versus the winner of this game and Northland out of Ohio. Look at the tag. See the tag that I was talking about? They got it.
Grayson Allen got one hanging out there in the back, and you know, that's just an example. That's a great example of what we were talking about. He's a great player. He's the kind of guy that makes people do that.
Maybe it'll be price tags next time, you know? Maybe they'll leave the original stickers on the pants.
I don't know. Some of those price tags really can be painful.
You know, you see that with hats a lot of times. They leave. I saw a guy wearing jeans the other day that had the price tag hanging off. I was like, man, put your Kmart price tag away. Inside now for Wyatt Walker. You know, the other trend I saw was Grayson Allen last night. He wore 2 different shoes. He had a blue and purple on the left and a green and yellow on the right.
Well, maybe fashion design is his future. You just never know what a guy's into. He's wearing the tag out in the back. He's got 2 color shoes on. We'll see tomorrow night when he comes for the championship game what exactly we're talking about. They hold on to this lead. Maybe he's got a 3rd trick in his bag.
Maybe he brings out like a colorful headband or something that glows in the dark or flashes green lights or something. I don't know. Christian Terrell has one rim out, but Wyatt Walker, the big 6'9" junior, is there to put it back up and extend the lead. 65-43 now, 6:12 left in this game.
Well, he's also got the leggings around the knee there and those kind of things. I mean, he might be into fashion design, trying to see which trend will stick, because Lord knows he can make a dunk now.
Maybe he should drop one sock and leave the other one all the way up. That's what I'd do. People give me a bunch of junk about, because I'll wear white socks with shoes any day.
Yes, but you understand people give you a static about going to a play twice, too, so
oh, yeah.
anything works.
Or wearing flip-flops to church. I'll do that. Look at that! Dunk! Christian Terrell misses the dunk, but was a Showtime experience. And Grayson Allen on the flip side says, get that junk out of here! Luke Morris going to commit the foul. And it'll send the shooter to the line for two.
Did they give him the two? I saw.
Yeah, they had to. Is that Michael Williams for Bishop Loughlin?
He's back
in
on
the
the
game?
floor. Back on the floor.
How do they do that?
I like the toughness of some of these kids. They get back out, going to compete, don't give up.
Kadeem Carrington at the line, the Seton Hall commit. Carrington in the game with 19 points.
Speaking of shoes, boy, there's a lot of different colors on the floor.
5 for 5 from the free throw line, and this is a young man that has gone to the two-shoe design, as he's got a blue and yellow on the left foot and a yellow on the right foot. Maybe the inner side is blue.
I think it's a two-tone all the way around, and that's different style. We got purple, we got the yellow and blue. We've got multicolors. We got guys with swooshes of one color, and
maybe some of those. Remember the wheelie ones that used to have the wheels in it? Maybe we'll get a player that'll show up in some of those one day.
As long as we don't have those ones that light up in the back.
Yeah, make little jingle sounds.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
That's a new wave.
Then we got Mr. Wyatt down there on the blocks with just plain old white shoes.
I like that. I'm classic like that.
Old school, baby.
That's right. Luke Morris has it stripped away by Donovan Dunham. First time in the game for him. I'm going to check my numbers to make sure I got it right, and I did. Donovan Dunham, 6-foot junior, into the game for the first time, and another one against Luke Morris.
Luke Morris also took two shoes to the head on that one.
That'll be his third foul. Luke Morris playing with a lot of heart. You know, I talked to the coaches, and they say this is a kid that didn't start at first, but put in the time, put in the effort, and worked his way into the starting lineup. Now he's going to work his way back to the bench.
Coach Martin all over him, and he just took two to the face. He was a little shook up. He came off holding his nose to make sure it was still in the same place.
Done that a few times when it comes to a surfboard. Had a shark encounter one time I had to do that with as well.
And I hope you were doing it to the shark.
Well, I was just making sure everything was intact. 80 feet underwater. Had one try to take a bite out of my head.
That's not good, Tyler.
No, it's not
good.
Have you ever seen the inside of a shark's mouth?
I do not want to, nor will I go and look for it.
Well, you're 1 degree separation away from a guy that has, because I have actually seen one. Wyatt Walker bringing it across the timeline, the 6'9" junior. Gets it to Deion Johnson, the 6-foot junior.
I have no doubt that happened to you, because in the Van Coleman 6 degrees of the game of basketball, anything is possible.
Okay. Well, sign me up for the inside of the shark's mouth. Look at that behind the back pass. No look from Wyatt Walker to Deion Johnson, and up off the glass. That was Purdy. 67-44 with 4:50 left in the game.
Little talking going out there. It's getting a little chippy on the floor.
Street ball action. Donovan Dunham.
Matter of fact, you may have missed it, but there was a little bit of a head slapping going on after that last basket.
Look at that one-handed catch by Grayson Allen in the air and puts it right back up with the right. He's a lefty, isn't he?
Terrell's a lefty.
Okay.
Terrell is a lefty.
It's like showtime here. Showtime at the Lambeau. And Grayson Allen has it, tries to strip it. Christian Terrell gets after it. And they're going to call Terrell with the foul, but that's play in basketball, up 69-44 and still getting after it with 4:11 left in this game. A timeout on the floor, a media timeout as well. 69-44, Providence leading Bishop Loughlin. Back in a moment on the beach.
Plans today to attend the Big South Basketball Championships. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/Big South.
My HTC digital cable service connects me to my favorite shows and new release movies with video on demand, so I can watch what I want, when I want, and I can choose from more than 200 channels, including digital cable sports. I'll never miss a play for my favorite team in any season. With HTC, it's a win-win, because HTC connects me with the things that mean the most.
Primetime on demand, including ABC, available free with any HTC set-top box. Call 369-8961.
HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
69-44, and a lot of them have said, well, that's enough for me in the crowd, and started headed towards the doorways. Van, as we were handed the stat sheet at the timeout, a couple of things stuck out to me, and that's the point totals for Grayson Allen and Christian Terrell. Allen with 19, Terrell with 18, and I believe before this game got started, you said they would be the featured players tonight in this contest.
Oh, very definitely. Those are the go-to guys for Providence. The other thing is that Wyatt Walker has a double-double. 14 points, 10 boards. He's really been solid on the inside. He had that one nice little assist that we saw behind his head. A guy that does it the old school way. He's just a fundamental big man who gets things done, and they've really been the difference. 44-20 in the paint, Tyler. That's the difference in this game.
Well, when you have a lead like they do, 25 points, now down to 23, when do you consider taking your star players out of this game?
I think it's getting pretty close that time, but I think probably at the 2-minute mark is where he'll pull everybody. He'll be comfortable, and why risk it in that last couple minutes? Plus, as I said, it was getting a little chippy, a little bit of talking going on between some of the kids out there on the floor. I don't think Loughlin is used to being out physical like they've been in this game.
Looking inside, the little spin, no good for Tyreek Sanders. So Bishop Loughlin getting in some of their players that don't see a lot of time. Oh, now that wasn't right. Grayson Allen went up for the shot, and the defender just grabbed him by the neck or the shoulders from behind. I don't know how that's not an intentional foul.
Should have been. Should have been an intentional foul. Could have been a flagrant.
Possibly an ejection. That was just all the way flagrant. Grayson Allen at the line.
Officials better pay attention, because when you see that and there's still almost 3.5 minutes left in the game, you can get somebody hurt in a hurry out here in this kind of situation.
Reminded me of the old horse collar in football. He just tried to take him down by the back of the neck.
You know, sometimes they're not aware of the talking because they're already getting up the court because of the quickness of the action. A lot of it's been in the backcourt before they've gotten across half court.
Darius James at the top, takes it into the paint. A lot of athleticism in this kid. He's got some hops, the 6'1" senior. And the foul going to come against Kedar Bryant on the block. 6'5" senior says he was set, but the official saw it the other way. And to the line is Darius James. James with 0 points in this game, but he's got 2 fouls. And he makes the first one. Puts his number in the record book of the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Right now, this is basically just decide what the score is going to be. I don't see any way in 3 minutes you can make up 25 points. I might start pulling my starters at this point.
Well, the winner of tonight's game will play at 7:30 tomorrow night versus Northland in the championship matchup, and a lot of people thought that Providence would be in that slot at the end of the game, as Ben Bobbitt is going to come out and Andrew McDyer will come in. I would imagine they'll put ice on that ankle immediately for Ben Bobbitt. The loser of tonight's game will face Madison Memorial tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. We'll start our broadcast at 1:45 with Miller Grove versus Norcross in the Constellation Championship. Follow that up with the 5th place game, Bullis School versus Moeller, and then the 3rd place game in the championship at 7:30. Followed by the annual Beach Ball Classic New Year's Eve party. Van, are you staying this year for the New Year's Eve party?
I might be there for a little while, but I have to be up at 5 in the morning and on my way to Charlotte to catch a flight at 11.
You are a traveling man.
Well, you know, sometimes when I'm on my own dime as a small business owner, I got to make sure everything works out cost-wise. And Charlotte was the winner as far as flight costs this time around.
I have a 16-year-old, sweet 16-year-old birthday party to plan for January 3rd. That's Friday night. My daughter will be 16. Coming out of the game, receiving a round of applause, is Grayson Allen, the Duke signee.
And I think that is a very good move by Coach Martin, because it was a little rough the last couple times he's gone down into that lane.
Darius James makes the second, and Luke Morris will inbound the ball for Providence. Moving right to left, black uniforms with white numerals and white trim.
He's got to get the ball up across, make a pass.
Yeah, getting harassed in the backcourt by Donovan Dunham.
That was at the 9-second mark, so he just made it.
Over to Johnson. Johnson gets it inside, and then Ladarian Griffin throws it away. Now Darius James from the left side gets fouled, going to the free throw line. Can we just run clock at this point?
Well, Coach Martin is hoping that his team would do that, but unfortunately, you know, you get young guys in that don't get to play as much,
right?
And they want to have that opportunity to get themselves into the stat book, and they don't take the time that maybe your older kids would take, who know that, hey, it's all about controlling the ball, keeping the ball out of the hands of your opponent. But at this point, I think we're going to see a lot of fouls. We're going to be a lot of bump and run the rest of the way here.
Van, let me ask you, is it more impressive when a kid gets out there and really gets after it when he has his opportunity, or if he does what he's been told to do, which is just run time?
Well, I think you want to see a little bit of both from them. But you also got to know that to gain time, you have to make the coach happy. And that's a real key.
Missed the easy one by Dominic Grayer. Deion Johnson will get it left side.
You have one of your starters on the floor with a bunch of young guys.
Khalil Muhammad now. Oh, my goodness. Ladarian Griffin skied to block that one up against the glass. Khalil Muhammad gets it rejected, and across the timeline, if he makes it, is Deion James. Another close one, guarded by Khalil Muhammad. Deion Johnson might be best just to keep the ball in his own hands and dribble around for a while. Darius James, will he try another easy one? And he does. Makes this one with some space with the body. Now Luke Morris, guarded by Darius James.
This is one of the reasons.
Yeah, that's an over and back.
This is one of the reasons you don't see coaches make these switches too early into the ball game.
Right.
Because it's gone from a 25, 26-point game down to 19, chance to go to 17, cut 10 points off in a minute.
72-53, Tyler Watkins and Van Coleman of the basketballchannel.net, hot100hoops.com. With this broadcast presented by Lucky Dog Television Productions and brought to you by visitmyrtlebeach.com and HTC Sports. And Donovan Dunham gets it into Isaiah Dees. Isaiah Dees over to Dominic Grayer. Kedar Bryant with the ball and a swat at Khalil Muhammad's mouth. Muhammad's going to take a break for a moment, adjust his jaw, as Bishop Loughlin's Edwin Gonzalez comes out and says, well, he elbowed me.
Yeah, in the college game, we'll be over at looking at the replay on that to make sure that if he did make contact, it would have been a foul, and it would have been a turnover. But at this point, 37 seconds left. Let's just wrap this one up.
Caroline Springs is going to speak to the winning coach just immediately following this game. That would be Jim Martin of the Providence Stallions in his 14th year coaching. Providence got to this point by defeating Socastee 70-38, defeated Moeller 60-56. Now they'll defeat Bishop Loughlin and move on to the championship game tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. versus Northland out of Ohio.
And I think he's going to be very, very pleased with about the first 30 minutes of this ball game.
Andrew McDyer will inbound the ball, guarded by Donovan Dunham. Looking for Deion Johnson and finds him in the backcourt. Johnson, guarded by Khalil Muhammad, made the jaw adjustment. Seems to be fine. Up to Kedar Bryant. Kedar Bryant inside. Probably a smart idea to get it to Teddy. Georgie Edis. Georgie Edis battling underneath. And Dominique Grayer will commit the foul, his first. Send Georgie Edis to the line for 2.
And I think Coach Martin is going to get the last couple kids in off his bench that hadn't been into the game.
Georgie Edis makes the first and picks up his 8th point of the game. 73-53 now. A gaggle of fans have stayed around to watch the ending of this one. Not sure the exact number a gaggle is, but seems like an appropriate description. Makes the second one.
Well, that is a tough one to come up. That is a tough one to come up with the number because, you know, it's geese, so it could be anywhere from 20 to 50 depending on how large the V is.
Is that what a gaggle is?
A gaggle, yes.
Okay, how about this one? Somewhat less than capacity sticking around to watch the ending of this one at the J. Lambeau Schwartz Arena inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Pass off to, hey, let me get his name in, Essa Bajela. Essa Bajela gets his name in the record books of the Beach Ball Classic, and that'll do it. 74-55 is the final here in Myrtle Beach. We'll come back in just a moment and speak to head coach Jim Martin of the Providence Stallions, who moved to 10-3 on the year. Bishop Loughlin moves to 6-2. Back in a moment with the Beach Ball Classic on HTC Sports.
Plans today to attend the Big South Basketball Championships. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/Big South.
Johnny Gardner Law.
I like working with people, and so one of the things I find most satisfying in real estate is being able to facilitate either the purchase for a new home buyer or the sale of a home for someone who's looking to transition and possibly move on. It gives me great satisfaction.
Johnny Gardner Law, with offices in Myrtle Beach and Conway. Wherever life takes you, we'll be there.
The victory tonight for the Providence Stallions out of Jacksonville, Florida, 74-55 over Bishop Loughlin Lions out of Brooklyn, New York. Caroline Springs is with Coach Martin.
Congratulations on the win tonight. You're welcome. Your team really followed through. A great team all around. Could you play any better?
Well, you know, we had a lot of turnovers, but it was great defense, great effort. I think we needed that tonight against a great team. So real proud of them. They did a great job.
All right, well, your next challenge is the championship game against Northland. How are you going to lead your team to victory?
Well, we're going to get home and get some rest, get ready for a late game, but it's fantastic to be in the championship game. We came here to give us an opportunity to win this thing.
All right, Coach, well, congratulations and good luck. Back to you, Tyler.
Thank you very much, Caroline Springs, with head coach Jim Martin, Tyler Watkins, and Van Coleman, as Providence moves to the championship game at 7:30 p.m. Monday night versus Northland, Ohio. The Bishop Loughlin Lions will play for third place at 5:30 tomorrow night. Van, want to wrap this game up for us?
Well, the biggest thing here is that Providence early on made the adjustment to throw over and to pass the ball through the press rather than dribble through it. That was a big change early. It got them a 10, 12-point lead. They basically maintained that. Their two stars in Christian Terrell and Grayson Allen were phenomenal throughout. And don't let the turnovers fool you. 16 by the starters when they were in the game. It ended up with 25 for Providence. I know Coach said they had a lot, but basically it was even between the two teams, and the game was decided inside as Providence won the Battle of the Paint 46-24.
Well, that'll wrap it up for us tonight from Myrtle Beach. We'll be back on the air tomorrow at 1:45 p.m. There is a noon game tomorrow, Saca Steve versus Mullins, and then 1:45 tomorrow, the Constellation Championship. We'll see you tomorrow night right here from the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is HTC Sports.